Dear students, today we will continue with algorithm to reverse given digits of the number. And in the reverse process, we will take one number and then we will try to reverse it in the reverse order. So what is the use of this reversing of the number? It is used to find out different pattern of numbers. Okay, maybe for example, if the 4 digits are given, we can make different numbers by using these 4 digits. That is possible by this process, as well as we can reverse one number and then we can find out whether it is palindrome or not. Palindrome means even if you reverse, the number must be same. Like maybe for example, in character string, madam, if you take, on both the side, it will be pronounced as madam. That type of thing we'll call it as a palindrome. And if you take 1 to 1, and from both the side, it will be 1 to 1. So that type of numbers, we will call it as a palindrome. And to find out those palindromes, we need this reversing given digits of number. And the approach is, in this program, we will be using the concept of ones, tens, hundred, and thousand places in the place value system. So first step 1, like if number given is 1, 2, 3, 4, then we can extract last number by taking a remainder of 1, 2, 3, 4, dividing it by 10. After finding the remainder, we have to multiply remainder number by 10 to shift its place by 1 unit. If remainder is 4, then 4 is added to reverse variable by multiplying it by 10. So first 1, 2, 3, 4, we will extract the 4 by using modulus function, okay, or modulus operator 1, 2, 3, 4 mod 10. Then the extracted number may be 4. Then we will add that 4 to the reverse variable, okay, and we will multiply that one by 10, and that process is step 4. And then the same process from step 2 to 4 we will repeat till the number is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, maybe for example we can see here, we will declare a variable n reverse and remainder as integer. Okay, we declare variable n reverse and the remainder as integer. Assign value 0 to reverse. Okay, reverse equal to 0. Read the number n. Then we will input the number n, maybe by using scanf. While n greater than 0, remainder is equal to n mod 10. Then, as in the above example 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 will be extracted. Then the reverse equal to reverse into 10. That is, reverse is 0 in the beginning. So 0 into 10 is 0. So first time it will not take this process and it will keep the remainder. So we need that concept for the unit place. So reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus remainder. So then 4 will be as it is stored in reverse. Then n is equal to n by 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 10, it will take 1, 2, 3. And again the process is repeated since n greater than 0. Again remainder is equal to n mod 10. Reverse equal to reverse into 10. So earlier it was 4. 4 into 10 plus new remainder, that is 3. So then it will be 4 into 10, so 40. That means the 4 will go to 10th place plus remainder. That means 3 will come to units place. So it will be 43. Again n is equal to n by 10. Then 1, 2, 3 divided by 10. So it will take 1, 2. Again the process is continued. Then the remainder is equal to 1, 2 mod 10. Then it will take 2 as a remainder. So reverse equal to reverse into 10. So already 43 is there. 43 multiplied by 10. Then it will be 430. So 430 plus remainder, that is 2. 432. Again n equal to n by 10. 12 divided by 10. Then it will be 1. Again it will go. Remainder is equal to 1 here. So 432 into 10. So 4320. Now it will be in thousands place plus a remainder, and now the remainder is 1. So then it will be 4321. And again when we divide 1 by 10, it may be 0. So the process will be stopped and it will print the reverse number, that is 4321. The next process is convert from decimal to any base. You already know these concepts. Maybe you can convert decimal number to any base. That means decimal number to binary, decimal to octal, decimal to hexadecimal. Okay, for the decimal the base is 10. For the binary base is 2. For hexadecimal base is 16. And for the octal the base is 8. Just we will see one example. Decimal to any base. Let us think. So we have one decimal number 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to convert that number to decimal. Now to extract the last digit, you move the decimal point left by 1 digit, which means that you divide the given number by its base 10. So if I take 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 10, then it will be 1, 2, 3 plus 4 divided by 10. The remainder is 4 is the last digit. So to extract the next last digit, again move to decimal point left by 1 digit and see what drops out. So 1, 2, 3 by 10, that is 1, 2 plus 3 by 10. The remainder of 3 is the next last digit. We repeat this process until there is nothing left. Then we stop. Okay. And here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the remainder, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that we will write 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now this example, let us express decimal number 1341 in binary notation. And for this 1341 means binary notation. Here 1341 is with base 10 and we have to convert it to base 2. Base 2 means it may contain only 0 and 1. Okay, by using 0 and 1 we have to make all the digits in this 1341. That is the meaning of converting decimal number to binary. Then how we can do it? So this is with base 10. We have to divide this number by the new number. That means we want to take the new number with the base 2. That means we have to divide this number repeatedly by 2. Since the base of the binary is 2. So maybe 1341 by 2 divided by 2 is equal to 670 is the quotient and the remainder is 1. And that we will keep as it is. And then 670 by 2, 335, the remainder is 0. Again 335 by 2, 167, the remainder is 1. That means every time we will divide by 2 and we will take the quotient to find out the next number. You can see the process here. 1341 is the first number. Then whatever the quotient comes, that again we are taking and we are dividing it by 2 to find out the next remainder. Again 335 by 2, 167. Again 167 by 2, 83. 83 by 2, 41. So in this way we will continue. And the last number generated, okay, that means still the quotient is 0, we will do this process. And when the quotient becomes 0, we will stop the process and we will write all the numbers from bottom to top. That is the concept of conversion. So 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 or the base 2. Okay. In the same way, in the octal, we will take the 8. That means the decimal number we want to convert it in octal. Then you have to divide it by 8. And whatever the quotient comes, okay, that we will keep and remainder we will write down. Again 167 by 8, 25, 7 is the remainder, 20 by 8, 2 is the quotient, 4 is the remainder, 2 by 8 is equal to 0, and the 2 is the remainder, quotient is 0, then we will stop. And again we will write it from the bottom to top. Okay. The same way, the decimal number we can convert it in hexadecimal notation. Then we will divide it by 16. So 1341 by 16, that is 83, and 13 is the remainder. But in this one, we will not take 13. So from the 10, we will take the alphabets in the hexadecimal. So A, B, C, D, E, F, like that way. So first we will convert, we will divide the number by 16, we will keep the quotient, we will take the remainder. Again, here 83 by 16, we will take the quotient, we will keep the remainder. Again, we will take 5 by 16, we will take the quotient, now it is 0. Then we will take the remainder and we will stop. So 4, 3, 30. So when the quotient is 0, we will stop. Okay. Now, here you can see in the hexadecimal, it may be 13, 5 is 5, 3 is 3, but the 13 we will take it as D. For this process, we will try to write a program. Maybe in the lab we have this process, how we can convert decimal to binary. Other concepts are not there, but you have to know the algorithmic concepts of all the base conversion. So I have mentioned everything. Then program to find out the ASCII value of a character. Okay, maybe if you are taking character, then it is a concept of converting character to number. Okay, and when we are converting character to number, it will be a ASCII value of that character. For each and every character, there will be one ASCII value, as you already know. And here the user enters the character for which we need to find out the ASCII value. The character is stored in the variable. That maybe in programming method we will take char_ch. When we assign this character to an integer variable, it assigns the ASCII value of that character, as we do in int and character. Okay, int a if you take, and afterwards if you take it as a character, automatically it will convert. So we will see the program concept. Maybe in the programming way, we will take in this way. Hash include stdio.h int main char_ch printed, enter the character to get the ASCII value, scanf %c ampersand ch, int ASCII is equal to ch, printf ASCII value of %c is equal to %d. Here you can see character representation and integer representation we will take to convert character value to ASCII value. Okay, return 0. Even you can reverse the process. You can take one ASCII value, you can print the equivalent character. Okay, this program may be converted. Then scanf %d ampersand ch or ASCII. Then printf ASCII value of %c is equal to %d ch comma ASCII. Directly you can take one more concept, %d here, %c here. Then automatically it will be converted to number to integer to character. Thank you, students. And this is the end of chapter 2. And in the next chapter, we will see factoring method. So I'm going a little bit fast since we have to complete the portion and we have to start with the MCQ questions. So don't bother. I will give MCQ question pattern. Thank you. God bless you.